Welcome to Philosophy in Pajamas podcasts. We are diving into a concept today that you probably think you understand, but we're going to view it through a completely revolutionary lens. I mean, think about how we live. We spend our entire lives measuring everything, progress, success, even our own worth by the clock and the calendar.
Yeah, birthdays, career timelines.
Exactly. We're obsessed with the numbers, but here's the paradox we're exploring. What happens when the most powerful, essential force in our lives, love, just refuses to play that game?
It just doesn't participate in the arithmetic. That's the core tension.
Yeah.
And today we're synthesizing insights from Rusha Rawal's really powerful analysis on this, on time and connection.
Okay.
Our goal is to, pull out the nuggets that explain why genuine connection just inherently rejects the calendar.
So let's start with that first big idea, the one that kind of shakes everything up. The assertion is that age is itself a social invention.
Right, something created to organize, categorize, and control.
And love. Love exists to undo all that. That sounds like a beautiful act of defiance.
It is. But it's an effortless defiance,
Yeah.
really, because love came first. I mean, the distinction drawn is just so fascinating. Age needs paperwork. It needs validation. Love, on the other hand, it does not carry an identity card.
Doesn't need a license.
Not at all. It never waits in line for social approval, and it certainly doesn't explain itself to calendars.
That's the key, isn't it? We try to fit it into our spreadsheets, but it won't be categorized.
Exactly. The fact that a deep connection can arrive before you think you're ready, or stay long after you think you're done, that tells you its origin is completely outside of our human constructs.
So here's where it gets really interesting for me. The question love asks isn't, are you appropriate, or are you convenient?
Or what year were you born?
Right. The only question is, are you open enough to feel me fully?
And that one question just strips away every superficial judgment we have. Status,
Yeah.
income, age, all of it. Love speaks, as he puts it, a language older than time.
A primal language.
Yeah, a language of touch and gaze and recognition. It's from this ancient place where two souls just recognize each other without asking to see a resume.
Pre-bureaucratic.
Totally. And that leads us straight into one of our biggest cultural mistakes, which is this confusion between age and wisdom.
Oh, absolutely. We're conditioned to believe that maturity it grows linearly with time, like interest in a bank account.
But we all know that's not true. Rushik's analysis really breaks this down. We've all met, young people with ancient hearts and older people still learning how to be gentle.
Yes. Someone who's lived for 50 years can have less emotional maturity than someone half their age who's actually, lived through something.
And if you connect that to what love is looking for, it isn't seniority. It's seeking presence.
Presence, okay.
Love doesn't fall for wrinkles or for smooth skin. It leans toward honesty. It chooses the courage it takes to be seen without armor. That vulnerability, that's the real sign of readiness, not how many candles were on your last cake.
So, okay, if love is this primal, pure, instinctual thing, why? Why does love across different ages cause such a social panic? Why do people get so alarmed?
Well, the analysis suggests people panic. That's the word. They see something that doesn't fit the mold, and they immediately reach for rules, for labels, for the moral high ground.
To protect themselves.
Exactly,
Wow.
because they're using those external rules to mask an internal fear. They kind of forget that their own big life choices were probably driven by longing, not logic.
That makes so much sense. The relationship isn't the threat. The threat is to the observer's own neatly planned out life.
Precisely. Love threatens the social order because it reminds everyone of a truth we try to bury, that we are alive before we are acceptable.
Wow, say that again?
We are alive before we are acceptable. Society spends decades teaching us how to be acceptable. The right job, right partner, right time.
And a relationship that ignores the timeline challenges the whole system.
It does. It asks if they can find connection outside the rules, well, what other rules are just arbitrary?
So let's flip this idea of growth on its head. The assertion here is so profound. Love matures us, not age.
Yes. This changes everything, and there's such good, tangible examples of what love teaches you way faster than time ever could.
Like what?
Well, think about it. Patience. You have to learn patience in a deep relationship that a solitary life just does. It never demands it of you. Responsibility for someone else's well-being. Humility.
It really is the ultimate empathy boot camp.
It is. Love forces you to stretch your empathy, to sharpen your awareness, but you can have a person who's had a pretty smooth life until they're 40, right? Compare them to someone in their 20s who has been deeply in love and had to support a partner through, say, grief or a crisis, that younger person grows faster than one who merely grows older.
Because the emotional demand forces maturation. Age just documents time passing. Love documents the experience within that time.
And the practical implication of this ageless love
Mm-hmm.
is that the pressure to perform a role
Yeah.
it disappears. You don't have to be the wise mentor or the charming ingénue.
You just have to be you.
Right. What's left is character, curiosity, the ability to care without trying to control. It adds depth to moments, not just years to life.
Okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the thing everyone points to, the fear of a power imbalance in age gaps.
We do. And that fear isn't groundless. Power can be a real issue, but we have to define where it actually comes from. The writing is clear that power doesn't come from age alone.
Right, because most people just assume the older person holds all the cards, financially or with life experience.
But it's so much more nuanced than that. What about unconscious power? What about, emotional manipulation that's disguised as guidance?
That's a great point. A younger partner could hold power through their youth, maybe, or leveraging emotional distance to control the older partner. So how do we spot the real problems?
This is where ethics comes in. True ethical power, as it's defined here, comes from awareness, consent, and integrity.
Okay, break that down. Integrity.
It means being transparent about your intentions, your vulnerabilities, even differences in resources. It's about being conscious of where you stand. A relationship is ethical only when both people are aware of what they bring and what they take.
So it's not the decade-long gap that's dangerous, it's the consciousness gap.
Absolutely. Love is ethical when it's conscious. It only gets dangerous when it's careless. When one person, regardless of their age, just chooses to be oblivious to their impact on the other.
So what's the ultimate distillation here? It sounds like love is less about matching timelines.
And far more about matching intentions.
It notices alignment, not arithmetic.
That's the takeaway. The core rebellion of it all is that love itself doesn't grow old. People do. Love just grows deeper, quieter, more accurate. And when it's conscious and respectful, the number becomes irrelevant. It stops being rebellion, and it just becomes recognition.
Two people seeing each other.
Simple as that.
And the most beautiful part of this whole idea, for me, is a realization that the heart does not age at the same speed as the body. The heart remembers wonder. It remembers longing. It always remembers how to begin again, no matter what the calendar says. If you found this conversation stimulating, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to follow Rushik on medium.com for Shukla Kolal. We'll see you next time.